Today we're taking a look at the Saucony Ride Iso 2 after 100 miles. 8.17 miles, 7 minutes, 56 seconds per mile. Getting in a hot run today, which brought me over the 100 mile mark in the Saucony Ride Iso 2. But before we get into my thoughts about this shoe, let's go over some disclosures. For this shoe, there are none. This is a pair of shoes that I purchased with my own money and no one is paying me to make this video. In terms of the wear and tear on the Saucony Ride Iso 2, it's holding up really well, which is what I would expect for something like this, which is intended to be more of a daily trainer shoe. There is some exposed foam on the outsole of the shoe, but there's lots of rubber to cover those high traction areas. And there is a lot of wear, a surprising amount, on the right outer heel, which is where I tend to get the most of my wear on a shoe. But in terms of the forefoot, I'm seeing just the beginning signs of wear. So this is definitely a shoe where the rubber is going to hold up for a really long time, especially during those hotter summer months that we're now approaching, where the pavement is going to be a little bit hotter and is going to be a little bit harder on those outsoles. In terms of the upper has been doing really well. I think that it's much more breathable than last year's version. I don't know if it's a reduction in overlays, a change in the upper material. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I don't feel quite as hot in this shoe as I did in the Ride Iso version 1. The things that are the same from the version 1, or at least to me feel almost identical, is the amount of padding and the amount of cushioning that goes on the tongue. It's almost bubbly how much cushion there is here, and then around the heel cup as well. All of that padding, very comfortable to put your feet into, but at the same time, it does contribute to a lot of heat. So those of you that are running down in Texas, southern states, where it's really hot already, not a shoe that I would probably recommend for you guys down there. But if you're looking for something that is really plush and really comfortable around the top of your foot and around your ankle, then this is definitely one that you want to look at. Also contributing to the overall comfort of this shoe is there's quite a bit of step-in comfort. So when you put your foot in the shoe, it feels really nice. There's 2 layers of foam on here. There's Everrun and there is Power Foam. The Everrun is the softer foam that's on top, and then the Power Foam is what's on the bottom. These 2 foams contributed to a very comfortable ride for me. I enjoyed taking this for a lot of those longer or medium distance runs where I was looking to go at moderate pace or slower. Not that you can't go fast in the shoe. Today I did have, as part of my taper now leading into the Tunnel Marathon on June 9th, I did have an 8-mile run today, which was a little bit less than I've been running on a daily basis. And I had one of those miles at marathon pace. This shoe didn't really have any problem getting up to that marathon pace for me. And it was also very comfortable for the slower miles that I wanted to put in before and after that just 1 mile interval. So a very comfortable shoe for me to run in. I found that once I got to like the 9 or 10 mile mark in this shoe though, the 2 foams kind of started to bottom out. And so I don't know that I would recommend this for your extremely long runs. I think this is more of the daily trainer type of shoe that you can take out for most of your runs, kind of like your weekday runs. For your longer, slower weekend runs, you might want to reach for something else. Because I just felt like by mile 9 or mile 10, I was starting to feel a little bit of aches and pains. The first run that I took the shoe on was a 15-mile run, and that one I definitely felt like the shoe was bottoming out right around mile 13 or 14 or so. I think that's about where it happened. And so it didn't quite feel as nice. But for anything that was like in the 8-mile range for today, I thought it was just an absolutely fantastic shoe to run in. I also felt like there was differences from last year, where I felt like last year in the Saucony Ride Iso, the first version, I felt like the midsole kind of system was a very stiff platform, and it didn't let my foot move around as much as I thought it needed to. And I felt like I was fighting the shoe quite a bit in last year's version. This year's version, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but this one seems to agree with me a lot more than the Saucony Ride Iso 1 did, and I enjoyed running in it a lot more. It's not as great to me in my mind as the Saucony Ride 10, the GTX version that I ran in a couple of years ago, but that just might be nostalgia. I had a lot of great memories in that shoe, so maybe that's just what's happening here. But otherwise, this shoe I think is a great iteration on the Saucony Ride series. The only thing that I didn't like is that Saucony has been putting more and more of that hint of stability in even their neutral shoes. And the first couple of runs that I ran in this shoe, I didn't really notice it. But stability, or the lack of stability, or the hint of stability, is the kind of thing that, in my understanding, is that you'll notice it a lot more over time. And I felt like over time, that might be why I don't like it for longer runs. Maybe the foams are doing great, but maybe it's that hint of stability that's starting to bother me. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I think that that's something that if you love Sauconys, like if you like the Kinvara 10, the Kinvara 9, you're gonna really like this for your longer, slower days, or more of your daily trainer running for this shoe. If you don't like that hint of stability that is in a lot of other Saucony shoes, you might wanna stay away from this if you are looking for a longer run shoe. So just something to keep in mind. It might just be me, and how beat up my body is right now, but those are my experiences with the Saucony Ride Iso 2. Let me know if you have any questions about this shoe. Put them in the comments. I'd love to talk to you guys down there. And before I go, I want to talk to you guys about a new charity runner for this week. This week it's Rafael Igricianu. I hope I'm saying it right. I've tried saying it like a whole bunch of times, trying to memorize how to say it. If I'm saying it wrong, please let me know and correct me, and please accept my apologies. I'm also having a hard time making the donation to his page. It's in a language I don't understand, so I'm gonna figure that out. If nothing else, I'll make sure that I PayPal him $70 for his fundraising efforts, because he's gonna be running the Sibiu Marathon coming up next month in just a couple of weeks. And so that's something that I want to make sure that I can help him in his fundraising efforts. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for making it to the end of the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yo, what's going on?